This story is for you, boys. I'm going to tell you about that first day in Australia. There I stood in a cold arrival hall of the Melbourne airport. I had 10 suitcases, one husband, and 3 little boys. 6, 7, and 5.5 months old. It was dreadful. Honestly, when the idea came of going somewhere else, I was all for it. It was like, hey, listen, we need adventure. The world is so big, I haven't seen enough of it. And so we migrated to Australia. But when I arrived there, suddenly the reality hit me. In that cold arrival hall, I thought, what have I done? I'm trapped. I can't go back. And then, after we went through customs, some of the people that came to pick us up drove us to our new home in Werribee. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and all I could see was stuff that was just empty. It was bare. And I came from green Holland. In the home that they had rented for us, I looked around and saw that my cozy home from Holland was gone. Here were just empty spaces and old-fashioned furniture. Yes, I was grateful for it, really grateful. But my heart cried. In the car, driving along, I kept those tears back, but now they started flowing. And I have to tell you that the first days they just didn't stop flowing. It was so cold. Australia was supposed to be warm, but it was cold. And you know, that empty feeling, that lonesome feeling, did not leave for a long time. We hardly knew the language. Everything was new. The people that picked us up allowed me to make a phone call to my parents. And instead of talking, I burst into tears. I felt terrible because they did their best for us, and all I could do was cry. In that new home, we had to pay $65 rent per week, and we arrived with $250 in our pocket. Your dad had to find work quick, and you know, within a week he was working. He didn't know the language, but he knew his trade. He was a painter, as you know. He did a good job, but oh, it was so hard first. And you little boys, you didn't know the language, and you had to go to school. My heart broke when I had to do it. And I just kept thinking, what have I done? I'm just trapped. But that brave husband who went to work after 1 week in Australia gave me a way out. He said, darling, if you still feel the same way after 2 years, we will go back. We had to stay 2 years because the government had paid for us to come. And so if we went earlier, then we had to pay everything back that they paid for us. But as you know, after 2 years, we did not go back. It's been now over 40 years and we've been here. And you know, my real escape came when I moved from bare and dry Werribee to Queensland. Ever since I was in Queensland, I haven't felt homesick anymore. Australia really has become my home. I'll tell you more stories later because there is a lot more to tell. but I'm so glad we arrived.